Alright, so today, do something a little different. This is my 2017 Ram 3500 four-wheel drive 6.7 Cummins Ace transmission 410 gears. Max tow available at the time. And this isn't anything special, but I like data for anything if I can get it, and if I can get it cheap, then it's even better. So today what I'm going to be doing is seeing if I can mount a little gauge somewhere on this air box, probably over here because this is kind of a flat surface, that will allow me to monitor how good or plugged up or bad, I guess, the air cleaner is. This truck is, I don't drive it too much. I've had it 3.5 years. It's got probably under 24,000 miles on it, and it's been generally really good. I had a few silly problems with it that were taken care of under warranty, but that's done. So I guess the first thing we got to do this is get the air box off. Now you could do this by just drilling into it right where it is, but I'd rather not put chips into my turbo, even if it is just plastic. So I'm going to see if we can get this air box off. I'm going to look at the air filter, see if I want to change it, because it is 3.5 years old now, and go from there. The first thing we got to do, it looks like we can squeeze that little sensor. Here's a special one where you got the double lock. There we go. Set those aside. So I think that's connected. Conveniently, this has screws, 3 here and then 1 on the clamp, and they're all the same size. So take you loose. I'm really surprised that just using screws for that. Pop him off, pull that up, and that comes out. Easy enough. Now let's take a look at the air cleaner, see if I want to clean the box out. Good gracious. Wow. That's filthier than I would have expected for 24,000 miles. So, interesting. There's the part number. I would not have expected that. The airbox looks nice and clean. Oop, got a leaf. But, so, we're going to run into town before I put this all back together and get a new air cleaner, because that's kind of gross. I'm surprised. Anyway, now we're going to move this into my disaster of a garage and see what we're going to do to install the little gauge. Alright, so what I've got is a Wix 24801 gauge indicador, whatever. And it is this guy, where you mount this somewhere in here, and it measures the vacuum that the engine is drawing through the air filter compared to what normal, if you didn't have an air filter, would be. So let's open this guy up and take a look at it. Worst unboxing video I know. So you have your gauge, and as you draw, and the way this is set up, as the engine has to breathe harder to pull through the air filter, it will draw this down. And when this little thing here gets down to change air filter, it's telling you you've got too much differential through your air filter, so it's actually getting plugged up and forcing, and not allowing your engine to work as well as it could. So pretty simple. Really all you got to do is mount this grommet somewhere here, maybe, like that, and then stick that in and you're done. So I've looked at the area around this on the truck, and I want to put it in a nice flat area because if this is on a curve, it's possibly not going to seal as well. And the best spot for it seems to be right in about this area here. Could also go over here, but there's looks like a refrigerant line that comes pretty close to it, and I don't want to put it under a bind. So this is probably going to be about the best spot for it to go, is somewhere right about there. It should be out of the way of the battery terminal and easy enough to see as soon as you open it up. So let's read the instructions and see what it tells us to do. It says to drill an 11/16 hole. That is for the grommet. So I am going to look at here. These are the best things in the world for drilling through plastic or thin sheet metal. You can see we've got 11/16 right there. Hopefully that's focusing. So we will start out with a little 1/8" bit. About here. And now we'll attempt to get this down to 11/16. And that is exactly 11/16. I'm going to try to clean it up from the backside a little bit because it could be just a tick thicker. There's the 11/16. Now you have to push the grommet in, which I think I'm going to go get some of my super secret O-ring lube. Smooth that up pretty good. You could use dish soap or a little grease that's compatible with your plastics if you wanted. Get that in. There she goes. Perfect. Now, put a little bit of this lube on the stub. And you're done. It's that simple. Now we're going to go get an air filter, and then we're going to finish reinstalling this. All right, got my new air filter. Let's see what she looks like. Pretty similar to the old air filter. A few more little stabilization glue there, so it doesn't tend to do that, but being confined in the housing, that's really probably not necessary. Let's see. 2, 4, 6, 8, 36, 48 pleats. Let's see what we got here. 2, doesn't seem to be as many. 2, 4, 40, 42, 45. So we have 3 fewer pleats on the replacement one. I don't think that's a big deal because they're both paper filters, so they just filter to the level of whatever the paper is. But slightly more restrictive potentially than this one assuming the paper is the same. And I'm not going to do a pressure drop across it, although now with my little gauge, I can. So let's go get this thing put in. I had put the cover back on while I was at the parts store just because I don't like big open holes into my turbo. But of course, the screw I'd used to hold it, I dropped down there. Conveniently, there's a little hatch up in here to help you change the headlight. And if you open that, you can kind of reach up inside there and find the screws that you dropped. So that was nice. See how this thing fits. Pretty snug, which is good. That's what you want. Yeah, it's even got these 4 domed things. Like the factory one, it's just missing 4 pleats. So now we will see if we can one-hand this back together. Put that like that. Get these tabs. Yeah. Try not to drop the screws. Click. These don't seem to have to come all the way out. If you just loosen them up till they do bite into the cover, so saves you from losing them to the fender monster. All right. Get everything lined up there. Notch in the notch. Back to the stops. Yeah, looks good. All right. Get our little wires plugged back in. And that one. There we go. There she is. Yep, clears everything nicely. So now, as this filter ages, I'll be able to see how good it is. So maybe it's possible, and it probably is reasonable, that the one that I just changed didn't need to be. But why not? I'm in here. It's been 3.5 years. Might as well change it. But now we can monitor it. So that is how you install a filter minder. I will have that linked in my Amazon affiliate if anybody's interested in it, as well as my tools and all the other things we use around here. I do appreciate you all for watching. Hope you're having a good day. Take care.